As a child, you would wait and watch from far away, but you always knew that you'd be the one that would quiet they all play. From dusk.
It is extremely cold outside. It's the end of October, and that means the playoffs are here for North Dakota high school football. Welcome to tonight's broadcast. The West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs are once again hosting the Bismarck Century Patriots here at Essentia Health Mustang Stadium. I'm Jackson Miller. Alongside joining me up here in the booth is Dan Wolf. If we're back, Dan. The Patriots and the Mustangs going up against each other once again this time in the first round for the second consecutive year. Let's just take a look at the history between these two programs. Century leads the all-time series 5-4. They met a total of 9 times. And what's funny, I don't think a lot of people realize between these two teams is Sheyenne leads the regular season series 4-1, and they've outscored them 111-73. But in the postseason, Century has gotten the better hand of the Mustangs. The Mustangs are 0-4 against Century when it comes to the playoffs, and Century has outscored them 102-28.
And a couple of those were Dakota Bowl championships, so those really stung for Sheyenne. Yeah, Jackson, this is, theoretically, the seedings, the who you play is based on seedings, but 5 of the last 6 seasons, these teams have squared off at some point in the playoffs, and it's amazing to see that, and I'm sure we're going to be in for another good one tonight, although this one looks a lot different than the last time we saw these teams lock horn in the regular season, a game that Sheyenne pulled out on a missed field goal by Century late in the game, but there was no snow then, that's for sure.
It was back in week 3 of the season, early September, when it was a lot warmer outside. So, yeah, the attendance is very low for a playoff game. It is extremely chilly, probably the most adverse weather that we've seen out of any games this year. I mean, this is crazy. It's just below freezing. It's been like that all day today.
Yeah, it has been, and I think since we've done Mustang media, this is as bad a conditions as we've seen for a game. There's been heat, there's been rain, but we haven't seen something this cold where the temperature's below freezing. That field is going to be rock hard. Those hits are going to sting a little bit more. Everything that happens out there, it's going to take in a large amount of mental effort, not just physical effort, but mental effort to get past the conditions and just kind of say, hey, this is how it is, and we need to be mentally tougher than the opponent.
Well, the Mustangs come into this as the number 2 seed. Century is the number 7 seed. Before we get any more information between these two teams, let's just take a look back at last week. The Mustangs pulled out a 70-49 win against the Mandan Braves, and we had a lot of offensive records broken. And let's take a look at Caden Olson. The junior quarterback has stepped up after Caleb Deere went out with the injury, and ever since then, Caleb Deere switched to receiver. Olson threw for 475 yards, 8 passing touchdowns. He also had 2 on the ground, so 10 total touchdowns. And then
Did you start him in your fantasy league last week? That's my question, Jackson.
I would have for sure with the way he's been playing this year. And then Caleb Deere has just been a rock star at receiver. 201 yards receiving, and then 4 touchdowns, and those were consecutive, too. He caught 4 touchdown passes in a row from Caden Olson.
A 49-35 halftime score might have led you to believe that the basketball season had started a month and a half early. But indeed, that was a football score, and yeah, they lit that scoreboard up at Mandan last week. And going into the season, as you mentioned, Sheyenne being the number 2 seed here, Jackson. If you were to go on the North Dakota High School Activities Association website, you would see that Minot actually holds an edge in the QRF standings. And so that makes them the number 2 seed, and it made me wonder, how did Sheyenne end up as the number 2? But with their system, it works from the top down, and if the team below you is within a certain number with their QRF points, they can leapfrog over you, or head-to-head, and that's exactly what happened. Minot actually had a better record, but because they were so close, Sheyenne played a tougher schedule during the year. Minot never had to face Shanley. That's how Sheyenne was able to leapfrog them. And if you look at the bracket, this certainly, you would think, benefits Sheyenne by looking at it, because every team in this bracket on their side, they've defeated this year in the regular season. Century, Mandan just last week, and Minot, what we at the time said was easily their most complete victory of the year.
Well, going into that match, Minot only gave up 12 points. They had 4 shutouts, and the Mustangs put up 28 against them. They pulled out a 28-20 victory.
And then on the other side, that's where the heavy hitters are. Shanley, who handled Sheyenne, Bismarck, who handled Sheyenne. Davies even gave Sheyenne, that was a tight game as well, eventually won by Sheyenne. The only team on the other side of the bracket that Sheyenne was able to beat this year is West Fargo. So, obviously the games still have to be played, but looking at that bracket, that would seem to be certainly in Cheyenne's favor to have that ability to jump up to the number 2 seed in the playoffs.
Well, as we've been talking about, though, the seeds do not matter when it comes to both of these teams. Last year we saw it. The Sheyenne was the 1 seed, Century was the 8 seed, and Century came in here and they just flat out outplayed the Mustangs. They beat them 27-8. They outplayed them on both sides of the ball, and the Mustangs were sent home early.
Yeah, they did. Sheyenne, the number 1 seed, and I think we talked about it last year. The crowd wasn't real big. I think everyone anticipating they were going to move on to the next round. Great job by Coach Wingenbach and his players last year, shocking the Mustangs. So, for the kids that were here last year and remember the bitter taste of how that season ended, I'm sure they got a heavy dose of that from Coach Newton throughout the week, reminding them that, hey, it might say we're the 2 and they're the 7. That doesn't mean anything. As you said, Jackson, everybody has a 0-0 record right now, and it's, win and move on, or your season is over. So I'm sure he's not going to let his team forget how important each possession is going to be.
Well, Bismarck Century, they are arguably the most dominant program of the 2010s. They won 4 state titles, 2015, 2016, 2019, 2020, so 2 back-to-back streaks. They went on a 29-game winning streak before the Mustangs snapped that during the 2021 regular season when the Mustangs won state that year. That was week 8. It was the second to last game of the season. We called that game with Tom Kirchhoffner, former Century quarterback, and the Mustangs won 14-0. And then last year we saw the Mustangs, it seems when you look at that flop side at how the Mustangs are leading the all-time regular season series 4-1, and Century is up 4-0 in the playoffs.
Yep.
Century, Ron Wingenbach, is a great coach. I mean, he knows how to make adjustments. I mean, we saw last year they got beat by the Mustangs 41-14 in week 3 of the season, and then they come here and they knock the Mustangs out in the first round and eventually get all the way to the state championship as the number 8 seed.
Good coaches get their teams and their players up for big games, and that's what Coach Wingenbach did last year. And his guys were ready, and they executed the way they needed to. And I think that's something that Coach Newton is going to ask of the Mustangs tonight, that they have to go ahead and execute as well as Century did last year. There's the ones that are going to have to be the ones that kind of take control. Last year, the offense was such that getting down in that big hole probably precluded Sheyenne from making big runs. Obviously, seeing the score from last week at Mandan and knowing that they have the run-pass option now, obviously they're able to put up much bigger numbers. But, Jackson, tonight I think the weather is going to be obviously a huge factor. We mentioned, every time you hit the turf, it's going to hurt a little more. Those plastic helmets, those plastic pads, it's going to sting a little more. And I think it's going to be who's going to be strong enough to get through that. And for a team now that makes their living in the air, that's going to be difficult for Sheyenne and for Century tonight. Anybody who throws the ball, it's going to be hard for those quarterbacks to get a good grip on it. It's going to be hard for those receivers to hold on to it, and I wouldn't be shocked if turnovers play a role in the outcome tonight. Obviously, you always want to end up on the positive side of the turnovers, but that wouldn't shock me a bit if that factored largely into the outcome of the game.
This is arguably probably one of the coldest games that we've called out of the 3 years we've been doing this. I mean, it's below freezing. I mean, it's going to sting out there tonight, and it's just awesome that these two teams are going up against each other once again in the playoffs. The second time they've gone up against each other now in the first round. We're going to send it down to the PA for the starting lineups and the national anthem. Don't go anywhere, folks.
I'm proud to be the voice of the Mustangs. A huge thank you to all of our staff for helping organize tonight's game. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please stand if you are able, remove any headwear, and remain at attention as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
So, Jackson, as we talked about before the national anthem there, the wild card's going to be the weather tonight, and there is still some breeze out there, but it seems like it's calming down a little bit. I think the things that are controllable for these teams are going to be the ones that matter. For me, always, games are oftentimes won on that front line, the offensive and defensive line, and certainly Coach Wingenbach's going to know that Sheyenne has struggled at times this season with controlling the run and containing tough physical running backs. And it's going to be tough to pass tonight. It will be for both teams. And I think that might help Sheyenne out a little bit because they're going to be able to put more men in the box. They're maybe going to be able to run blitz a little bit and just kind of close up some gaps. As long as they can set the edge on the outside and not let anyone break containment, I think that will be okay because it's going to be tough to pass tonight. But if Sheyenne is unable to stop the running game of Century, it could be a really long night.
Well, we've seen spurts where the Mustangs have given up big plays, especially on the ground. I mean, you're exactly right. This game is won in the trenches. I don't think a lot of those guys up front get a lot of credit, but that is where the game is won. And the Mustangs, they got to come in here and they got to be extra hungry tonight. I mean, this is the team that ended your season in a chance at back-to-back state titles a year ago. And they come running in here and they're on your home logo or stomping on your home logo. I mean, you gotta be a little pissed off.
Yeah,
you gotta be angry. You gotta.
You really
got to
do.
be ready to play.
And you've got to be, mentally tough enough to put the elements. It's the same for everyone out there. It's cold for everyone out there. You can't feel sorry for yourself, and you just got to go out and execute and do your job. And so it'll be interesting to see what types of things Coach Newton has dialed up and what Coach Wingenbach has dialed up. But I think if Cheyenne's able to kind of win that line of scrimmage, and as long as they don't lose the turnover battle, if they keep it even or win the turnover battle, I think they have a really good chance of winning this game. If either of those things go south for them, we might be seeing something similar to last year. So we're going to see how excited and how ready to play this Mustang team is in just a few minutes.
Looks like the stadium's starting to fill up a little bit as we get closer to kickoff.
And Sheyenne, if you were watching, deferred, won the toss, deferred, so they will be kicking. And Century gets the ball first, and I think that's going to be a way for Sheyenne to maybe set the tempo defensively and to see if they can lock down the Century ground game and Century's offense early on, and then hopefully strike back with a quick touchdown. If you can get out ahead of them and kind of put Century behind you, that's a good thing. And we know that the regular season, Century had a 40-yard field goal as time expired to win the game. I think it's going to be a lot tougher to kick field goals, extra points, kickoffs, those sorts of things tonight as well. The only other game going on around 3A right now is the Shanley Deacons hosting the West Fargo Packers. And there's about 7 minutes left in the second quarter with Shanley up 20-0. Bismarck is hosting Fargo Davies tonight. Minot hosts Mandan, and then obviously this game, Century here visiting the Mustangs.
And before kickoff, we also want to give a shout out to our main sponsor, Essentia Health. We want to thank Essentia Health for being the proud sponsor of our Sheyenne High School's Mustang Media team in this broadcast. Essentia Health, care close to home.
Number 2, Rivers Martin. At fullback, a senior, number 44, Preston Zimmerman. At tailback, a senior, number 9, Gavin Lill.
So the Mustangs got away with a 26-24 victory last time out. It's going to be I think it's going to be another nail biter tonight, Dan, and it's just going to be about who wants it more. It's playoff football. We're at the end of October here. It's win or go home from here on out.
Yeah. And again, it does not look like it's the end of October out there with the snow out here. I was thinking, if someone scores tonight, they might want to try and go make a snow angel, but I think it is crusted over and icy snow, and I don't think there's going to be any snow angels tonight. It's just a bitterly cold evening, and good for the fans, whether you're from Century or Sheyenne, coming out and supporting high school football and coming out to play tonight. Even not a huge number of students in the student section, but there were some, and I got here about a half hour or so before kickoff, and there were already some kids in here, so obviously they want to see their team come out with a victory tonight and hopefully host next week in some warmer conditions, although the weather kind of looks like it may be like this for a while, so time will tell. Sheyenne needs to take care of business first here tonight.
If Sheyenne wins, they will get another home game as they are the number 2 seed. Mandan and Minot are the number 6 and number 3 seeds respectively. Minot being number 3, Mandan being number 6. But if Century were to win, the winner of whether it's Minot or Mandan will get a home game.
Yeah, the higher seed always is the host. And so it would be Sheyenne if the seedings play out the way that they are and they're able to secure another victory here tonight against Century. But if Century wins, it doesn't matter if it's Mandan or Minot on the other side, they would be the host school.
Patriots finished the regular season 3-6. Second year in a row they've done that. The Mustangs finish 7-2.
And we know a lot about Shanley's high-tempo, up-tempo offense and their RPO, and they probably do it better than anyone in the state here. And certainly they got their share of yards on through the air in that game earlier in the season. But Shanley is sneakily a very good running team, and they're big up front. And again, that's the thing, that game against Bismarck and that game against Shanley that Cheyenne struggled with. But they did an excellent job against Minot. So if they're able to replicate that effort tonight and really kind of control the line, set the edge, and just let your linebackers fly up and make plays, then everything should be good to go.
Playoff football is officially here in North Dakota, and we're about to get underway. The Mustangs, as you said, Dan, they won the toss and they elected to defer, so they'll be kicking first. And they'll get the second half kickoff when that comes around. Odlin going to get us underway here. And here we go. The first round between the Patriots and the Mustangs. The first round matchup once again for the second consecutive year is underway.
Flag right away. Might be a holding there on that return, judging from where the flag came from the referee behind the play. Not a lot behind that kick by Odland. I think a little bit into the wind that's out there tonight, but also with just how cold that ball is and really how hard it is to keep your body loose and limber when it's this cold out. That kick barely traveled to maybe about the 30-yard line of Century.
Linebacker, D, Horace Elementary, go Lions. Carson Wilkie, linebacker, D, Aurora Elementary, go All-Stars.
Grant Henney, linebacker, D, Independence Elementary, go Bulldogs. Woo!
Race Wilson, cornerback, out of the Freedom Elementary, Fly Flyers Fly.
Jameson Allen, cornerback, D, Legacy Lions.
Noah Olson, strong safety, D, Horace Elementary.
Sullivan Irie, free safety, Freedom Elementary. Go Flyers.
First play underway. It's going to be a few yards up the middle.
That was a blindside block there on the kickoff. So that was a 15-yard penalty. That helped Cheyenne even more rather than just the 10-yard garden variety holding penalty. Cheyenne gives up 7 yards on the first play here. See if they can set up a wall on defense.
That's going to be a first down for Century.
Lil on that one.
And we remember him. He's explosive. He's known to pull out big chunks of yards.
And I think this is, obviously we're only 2 plays in, Jackson. This is the type of drive that Cheyenne does not want to give up, kind of that slow, plodding, grinding 5, 6, 7 yards. That's what we saw Cheyenne do to a lot of teams in the past few years. That's not the one that you want to get involved with here, if possible. Good job.
Yeah, this is Lil once
flying
again.
To the edge.
Lil once again on the carry. Used to be the team's quarterback. He was the team's quarterback last year, and then Tredorsky took over this year. Second and 8 coming up at the 30 from the 38. First pass of the evening, and Tredorsky's going to keep it instead.
Is that Mansky? Hard to see.
Yeah, Tredorsky was stopped quickly there on the play.
Yep, Mansky with the stop. He does get a couple yards, so it's going to be 3rd and medium, 3rd and 5. Another thing to look at, Jackson, with the ball as cold as it is and how hard the kicking game is going to be, if you're not going to get very good punts, do you just forego the punts and just, make pretty much everything in 4-down territory unless you're really backed up in your own end of the field?
Same thing after you score, 2-point conversions possibility this evening. And Jaworski's going to keep it once again. He gets the first down for the Patriots, cuts back to his left and gets all the way up past the Mustangs 40. Biggest play of the evening for the Patriots here on the opening drive.
Well, and that was set up by the fact that he had so many receivers going deep and those receivers occupied the secondary, the safeties, and the cornerbacks for the Mustangs. And so when he got up past that second level of linebackers, there was no one there, and he had clear sailing and picks up a big first down.
Jaworski under center. This is going to be up the middle. And the Patriots just chunking away. They're up the middle. Yep. Zimmerman on the carry.
Well, the fullback there.
Up the middle once again to the left side. It's going to be 3rd and short coming up here. See if he.
That might be enough.
We'll see if it's.
Yeah,
yep, it is enough. The ref waved off the clock, and it's going to be first down again for the Bismarck Century Patriots here on the opening drive of this quarterfinal matchup.
Again, all the damage being done so far on the ground by Sheyenne, or I'm sorry, by Century. It's all running plays. Again, interesting to see if Sheyenne starts some run blitzing and bringing that second tier of linebackers. There comes one right now.
Yep, and Jaworski's going to roll up to his left, fires a pass, and that's incomplete.
You know, Twardowski does not have gloves on, but looking down at the Mustang sideline, I see Caden Olson does have gloves on, and that'll be interesting to see if that helps him at all. I think some pass interference here on the Mustangs.
That's going to be on number 6, Jamison Allen. That's going to be a first down for the Patriots. And they are marching. They're in the almost inside the red zone. Actually, they are in the red zone now. They're at the 13-yard line after the pass interference.
Great
job stop there. That was Menz on the tackle.
Man, oh, it was Menz, yes. Couldn't tell if it was 10 or 18. And that's what Cheyenne's going to need to have, is guys coming up from that second level and filling those holes. As soon as they see that that ball was handed off, they have to just throw their body in there. They've got to find a way to slow down Century in this ground game. Great job there.
Good stop there. That's Mansky on the tackle.
Great job by Mansky crashing down from his end position. And that might be a loss of 1 on that one. This is going to be 3rd and 11.
And, you know, a stop here will be interesting.
Yeah, to see, do they come out and kick it?
It'll be about a 31-yarder. The ball's at the 14 right now.
So far, we
know Jangula has a leg.
We do know he has a leg, and just based on what we saw from Odland, it didn't look like it was very easy to kick tonight.
Twardowski kick, drops back, and they're trying to get him. He breaks free, but then he's eventually stopped at the 15. Another 1-yard loss.
Knodel pretty excited on that, trying to get up to celebrate, and got tangled with Twardowski.
It's going to be interesting what they do here. They're going
so
to
about 30,
it's going to be
33.
It's going to be NFL extra point.
There's going to be a timeout.
We're going to step away momentarily. 6:02 to go here in the first quarter. The Century Patriots are going to try to figure out what they're going to do here on 4th down. We'll be right back.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
4th and 13 is what the Patriots face. Ball's on the 16, so it'll be a 33-yarder if they were to attempt the field goal. Wingenbach going over the decision and what he wants to do. Patriots are in 4-down territory, however. And looks like they are going to go for it here. 4-down territory.
Big opportunity for Sheyenne to get a stop here.
Drops back. Has some pressure. Fires deep into the corner end zone, and it's incomplete.
Overthrown there badly. The only person with a chance of making that catch was a Mustang.
That was Allen.
And that was still out of his reach. So certainly no bumping or anything there. Just
good coverage on Martin.
Yep, Twardowski just threw it up there looking for his big receiver and unable to bring it down. So Sheyenne gets the stop they need. The bend but don't break. We've talked about that mantra for Sheyenne quite a few times this year. And really, we saw it against Davies 3 big times in a row, stopping drives by Davies. That's all it has to be. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be effective. So let's see how Sheyenne is able to operate the RPO here. They're going to go to...
Yeah, it's going to be Wilson up the middle, and he gets a big gain, and that's a first down on the first play for the Mustangs.
So Race Wilson wasting no time, hitting that hole quickly and getting downhill. And Sheyenne goes with tempo, and he's going to go again.
Yeah, Wilson gets to the left side, gets up past the 40, and fights his way.
Keeps those legs churning enough he's going to move the chains again. So quickly, Sheyenne flipping field position here. Sheyenne not giving Century really much time to absorb what's going on.
Wilson's going to keep it this time.
Nifty little move there for Olsen, recognizing his running lane was gone. He changes position a little, puts his foot in the ground and cuts, and still makes positive yards out of it. That's the important thing.
First pass is to dump off to Wilson out of the backfield, and Wilson's going to try to get a block. He goes to the outside and gets past right around the midpoint of the field. It's going to be right around the 49.
Should be 3rd and 2 or 3 after that. So good positive gain.
Number 6, Colton Simon knocked him out of bounds. 3rd and 3 for the Mustangs.
Third and short. Play action pass. Good play, and the Mustangs get another first down. That's Kobe Walter on the reception.
That's another Mustangs first down. 1st and 10 from the Patriots 43-yard line.
Kind of a bubble screen type of play out there.
Over the middle. Actually, it's going to be almost a fumble. It's going to be a run on the play. Olsen faked the pass.
Wilson had it stripped there, but Sheyenne on the spot. Again, we said it. When the ball gets cold like this, it gets awfully slick. It's harder to hold on to. And we know Race's quickness and his speed, and he wants to get out there and go. But when you're bracing for contact, you might want to get that second arm over the top of that football to prevent any possibility of fumbling. That should get Sheyenne up to about a 3rd and 1, 3rd and half a yard.
Be 3rd and less than a yard.
It's going to be 3rd and inches.
Excuse me.
Sure
I think they're going to measure it.
It could be that they think it's close enough. It's worth a measure.
I just watched them all kind of like awkwardly shuffle around.
If you're Sheyenne, do you like that, or would you rather just keep pushing, and keeping Century kind of off guard? They've been able to move the ball very well so far, and then you have something like this where the referees stop it, and it's going to indeed work out as a first down for Sheyenne, but with just a few inches to go, you would think Sheyenne might get that anyway, and you wonder, man, would have been better just to keep going and keep that tempo going. That gives Century a few seconds to talk in the huddle and kind of rally their troops there to try and stand up against this Mustang drive.
Olsen drops back, fires over the middle, and that is caught.
Caleb Haas, just a quick in, 5 yards, real quick.
First reception for Haas on the evening.
Still haven't had him look in Caleb Deer's direction yet, but you certainly know Century's going to be doing what they can.
And look at
try
this
and
big
take
play
Deer
from
out.
Wilson.
That's another Mustangs first down.
So the RPO working well so far. Not a ton of passes, but they've been high percentage passes. Essentially, they become just like running plays for most of them. This is the first time we've seen them really try and air it out at all. Everything else has been little 3-yard, 5-yard type of passes. And Cheyenne's been successful to continue moving the ball, looking to see if they could take advantage there if Century was kind of loading up the box because of how well Wilson is running so far.
Wilson fired to the corner of the end zone. Incomplete, overthrown. 2nd and 10 from the 15. This goes to Wilson. He gets another big gain here inside the 5. Wilson trying to fight his way forward, and he's eventually stopped.
The zone blocking for Sheyenne working really well here tonight, creating those lanes. And, you know, one of the things we've talked about is Wilson is so good at putting that foot in the ground and then kind of cutting back a little bit against that grain and making yards quickly as he gets that second level.
They're going to go to Wilson once again, and he's stopped.
Much tougher, though, when you get that end zone right behind you. You can bring that many more guys up into the box. Probably no gain on that guy.
2nd and goal from the 3. Olsen's going to keep it this time around, and Olsen is going to be in for the touchdown, and the Mustangs strike first.
So a few things go really well for Sheyenne in this first quarter with just 2.5 minutes left. One, defense comes up huge. They give, but they eventually stand tall and hold Century, keep them out of the end zone. You get chunks of yardage. You go down the field and you score. You had a fumble recovered by the Mustangs. So all of those things, the things that you need to have going in your favor, all went well for Sheyenne on that opening possession.
The extra point is good by Odlin, and it's 7-0. The Mustangs strike first here against the Bismarck Century Patriots here in this first round matchup. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, folks. It's going to be a good one. Mustangs up 7-0 with 2:35 to go in the first quarter.
What does it take to make fitness part of your lifestyle? It's intention. It's commitment. It's resilience. It's just who you are. You put in the time and effort to stay active. Our expert orthopedic and sports medicine providers also put in the time and effort to invest in new methods and treatments. Whatever you do to stay active, we are here to keep you moving. It's just who we are. Orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
Mustangs got a stop on the opening possession by the Patriots, and they respond with a touchdown of their own to strike first. They lead 7-0 here with 2:35 to go in the first quarter. Good start for the Mustangs, exactly what you needed.
Oh, boy.
Muffed it. And the Mustangs might have it. Yes, they do. They do. Mishandled, and the Mustangs are going to get the recovery on the kickoff. What a start. What a kick by Chase Odlin.
Really good. That first one didn't travel as far, and that was actually that second. Oh, boy.
Whoa.
So we got the ball back. We got the ball back.
Got a lot of boost in the crowd as we were getting excited over the supposed recovery. Looks like it's not meant to be. They are going to give it to the Patriots.
The offense is going out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the booing was for.
That was very confusing. Mustangs do get the ball, though.
Nickname. We're told by our spotter, Aaron Knodel.
They must have been yelling Coop.
That must be
Coop.
it. Cooper Bryant on that recovery.
On the stop for the Patriots. Gain of about 3, 2nd and 7.
Olsen keeps it.
Nice job of just putting his head down and keeping those legs going. Instead of trying to pick his way through a hole, he saw that there wasn't a lot there and just said, I'm going to put my head down and just plow into this. And he picks up a good 4 yards. It's going to bring up just a 3rd and 3. 3rd and manageable as they get Wilson on the
dump it off
flare.
to Wilson, and Wilson's going to break a tackle in before he stopped inside the 15.
Again, those types of passes essentially work like running plays. It's not like they're looking to be vertical with their passing game and get it downfield. They're just picking the easy targets that are close to them and turning those into essentially long runs. So inside the red zone here for the Mustangs, they can get a first down.
And Olsen's going to fire it to Haas.
Haas again, that's the second time they've run that play. He just goes and finds the soft spot in that zone.
Number 7, Jackson Burst on the stop.
And those, the linebackers are coming because of the running game for Cheyenne. And then those safeties and corners are dropping, and Haas just finds that, kind of settles down in that intermediate soft
and
area.
Olsen's going to keep it out. Olsen gets another touchdown for the Mustangs, his second of the evening, and the Mustangs go up 2 scores right away.
Well, this is certainly not the start that Coach Wingenbach was hoping for tonight. But, boy, for Cheyenne, it's hard to envision anything being more perfect for a start. Your defense has come up big. Special teams have come up big. Your offense is humming. And you have about to maybe be a 14-point lead, and we're not even out of the first quarter yet.
That one's good.
Yeah.
14-0, the Mustangs strike early 2 times, 1:06 to go here in the first quarter.
Great job, Mustangs from Western State Bank. Your home.
We'll be right back.
What does it take to make fitness part of your lifestyle? It's intention. It's commitment. It's resilience. It's just who you are. You put in the time and effort to stay active. Our expert orthopedic and sports medicine providers also put in the time and effort to invest in new methods and treatments. Whatever you do to stay active, we are here to keep you moving. It's just who we are. Orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
Olsen cruises in for his second rushing touchdown of this evening. That's his 4th in the last 2 weeks and 12th total touchdown in the last 2 weeks. And here's a kick by Odlin. And this time it's recovered by the Patriots. Big hit there, right just short of the 40.
I think if you're Century, I don't even know why you're playing 2 guys deep. I think you move everybody on that return team up in the back 2 rows, 10 yards at least, to give yourself an opportunity for some of your return men to actually touch the ball. There's no point having someone back at the 10. I don't think Cheyenne's interested in kicking it that far. I'm not even sure if you can on a night like this.
Play action pass. This is going to be deep. He's looking for Martin, and that's overthrown.
Good position by Sheyenne there, not biting on that.
Makes it 2nd and 10 for the Patriots.
And now if you're Coach Wingenbach, I know you're down 14-0, but it's still the first quarter. You don't want to abandon your game plan yet. And maybe, they had intentions of testing the Sheyenne secondary, but boy, I don't think you want to put your offense in too big of a hole here. If you opt not to punt and turn it over on downs again and give Sheyenne the opportunity to go up 3 scores here early in the first half, that's a bad recipe. I know it's tempting to want to try and get that back in chunk plays, but just like any sport, there's no 14-point play in football. All there is, you want to grind yards, get first downs, give your defense a chance again. But this is a big third down opportunity here for the Sheyenne defense.
Twardowski drops back. He's going to keep it this time, and he's going to get another first down for the Patriots. Boy, he is quick.
Yeah, when he gets past the line, he gets into that second level. He's got enough shiftiness, and Jackson, something we haven't talked about tonight. I don't know what the field conditions are like. There's some shininess to it. It looks like maybe there could be some ice out there from the rain that fell first. Hard to say for sure. They certainly went out and brushed it, but as he makes cuts out there, it seems like the Mustang defenders are having hard time. I don't know if it's because of the cuts or because the field conditions might be a little slick.
That's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. The Mustangs on an early march. They lead 14-0 on the Patriots.
Here, when our path takes an unexpected turn, and resourcefulness, determination. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
Beginning of the second quarter here, and Twardowski's going to fire a pass that is caught by number 4. That is Schomer.
Good job. A little bit of probably 5 yards after contact there after they making that catch. Some Mustangs spun him around a little bit, but he's still able to move the chains for Century. So Century's been able to pick up a couple of first downs on this, their second drive, after they fumbled the kickoff after the first Mustang touchdown.
On the ground, this is Lil.
Number 9, Gavin Lill on the carry. 55 Payne Petchak on the stop for the Mustangs.
Petchak there on that one.
Gain of 4 to make it second down and 6 from the 30-yard line.
Sheyenne holding their own. They haven't, stopped Century cold yet. The Patriots are still getting some yards, but pretty decent job by the defensive line so far in that second level of linebackers coming up and filling holes. There's a good job. There's a gang tackle. I think that was Canoto on that one.
Burkhardt was just hit a wall. It's going to be 3rd and long here.
It was Mansky. Mansky and Petchak, and his head hit the ground pretty hard there, I think, with that. And we know how hard this turf is from the cold weather.
Oh, the roads are slippery this morning.
Yes, they were.
Woke up and I looked at the radar last night, and I saw there was snow coming out of the southwest, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. First snowfall of the year, and it's not even November yet.
And one of those things, I work with Coach Wingenbach's son, Mustang girls basketball head coach Kenyon Wingenbach, and I had a chance to visit with him a little bit today and asked, is Bismarck leaving earlier? And he assumed they were. He hadn't been given any details, but I'm sure with the road conditions, the Patriots probably had to get on the road a little bit earlier and take it a little easier trying to get here today. So it's probably been a long day for them. They probably had to start off a little bit earlier in the day than they had intended to, but who would have expected 26 degrees at kickoff or, before Halloween and snow on the ground?
Absolutely. We didn't have snow on the ground until like November last year. Here's a play action pass. Twardowski's going to drop back, and that pass is nearly caught, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete, yeah. Would have been a tough catch, and you wonder, is Twardowski having trouble gripping it and letting it go? Is it just the slipperiness of the ball and how hard the ball is? Hard to say, but a 4th and 7 here. Another great chance for Sheyenne to get a stop. This is one certainly they're not going to kick a field goal on.
Yeah,
this would be the better part of 50 yards.
That'd be from 48.
They're going to have to go for this. I think you got to be careful. It's probably going to be a pass, but you got to be careful with Twardowski taking off and running.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to look there, but he gets rid of it.
Great job.
Intercepted by Olson.
He thought he had a guy, just didn't see Noah Olson playing center field there, and Twardowski running from Grant Knodel thought, I'm going to get rid of this, and Noah Olson, great job batting that out of the air, and another turnover. The Mustang D holds again.
Yeah, 3 stops for the Mustangs. One of those was a fumble recovery on a kickoff, and the Mustangs now have a chance to go 3 scores here in the first half.
Boy, this would be one of those great times for the old flex offense where you take about 8 minutes and just kind of grind down the field and punch one in and leave your opponent with very little in the left in the first half. But
you also don't want to let off the gas.
Well, that's very true. Oftentimes you see that with teams in multiple sports. You got okay, let's get a little more conservative. Let's be smart here, and I don't know that always helps.
Wilson's going to get this one on the dump-off pass. He's tackled right around the 35.
So about 4 yards there. I think it's going to be about 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7.
Gain of 4 will make it 3rd down and 6.
3rd and 6 from the 35.
3rd and medium. See if he goes to Deer for the first time tonight. Oh!
He was looking for Wilson, but overthrew him.
I think he released it a little faster than Wilson was anticipating. Wilson picking his way through traffic and didn't have his head turned around quite yet. And we're going to see Sheyenne go with a punt. They're going to make the conservative play, conservative call here. They're going to punt it away and see if their defense can continue to hold the Century offense.
For the Patriots is number 9, Gavin Lill.
Gavin Lill back to receive.
And
bad snap.
He gets it off.
Wow. Man,
and it takes a Sheyenne
Look
ball.
at this. He gets it across the 50 and all the way to 43 and a half.
Well,
how about that effort?
Well, great job by Menz corralling it, first of all, having the presence of mind just saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can put a foot on this, and he does, and it works out bouncing for Sheyenne. And so while it's not a huge punt, it does move Century back on their side of the field. Really, so far, Sheyenne, that would have been a chance really for Century to capitalize and make something big happen, and Sheyenne has been able to stay out of trouble so far.
Century will start at the 44. This is a pitch to Lill. He picks up 3.
Number 9, Gavin Lill on the carry. Tackles made by number 22, Braden Olson.
Decent tackle, but not until they've given up 3 or 4 on that one.
Gain of about 3 will make it 2nd and 7 for the Patriots.
Lill again on the carry.
Calls forward for about another 3.
It was Henney on the stop.
24, Grant Henney on the tackle. Hey, Mustang fans.
Quick drives back and forth there. 3rd and 5 now the Patriots face here.
And 5 for Century.
Crowd getting loud here. It's what you like to see here in a playoff game, especially when you want revenge. Twardowski,
great job by Knodel.
Grant Knodel, Mustang Media Zone gets the sack.
You know, and really that's almost more of a coverage sack there, Jackson, because, you know, Knodel did not get to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. That's a good job by the secondary, not providing any passing lanes for Twardowski, and that's what holds it up and eventually gives Knodel a chance to jump on him, and a big sack, and now a punt for Century.
Line drive.
They're going.
Oh, that's actually got a really good bounce. And that's going to be inside the 10.
Down to the 5, it looks like.
It's a tough field position for the Mustangs start. If you take a look at the scores around the states, we got Minot with a 7-0 lead over Mandan. 8 minutes to go in the first half. Shanley leads West Fargo at halftime, 36-0. High scoring first half for Shanley, of course. We've seen that all season long. And then Davies leads Bismarck 15-7 with 7 minutes to go in the first half.
So that Bismarck and Davies score, we know Davies is a quality opponent. And, you know, they're, I think, built much more in the mold of Bismarck in terms of their size and athleticism. You know, they have the big guys up front and the big, strong running back, just like Bismarck does.
Number 7, Peyton Olson.
Olson keeps it up the middle.
If we look at the 2A playoffs, the 4-5 matchup, Red River hosting Jamestown. Red River leads 14-7. Central leads number 2 South 14-10 with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Fargo North, number 1 seed, up 21-0 with 6 minutes to go in the half against Valley City. And Dickinson and West Fargo Horace scoreless.
And this big play by Race Wilson. He's been the workhorse out of the backfield.
You know, ever since Barry Pennu went down and appears he's not going to be able to run. And granted, you know, Race Wilson was part of that flex offense. He knows what to do in there, and we know how hard of a runner he is, although there's going to be a penalty here, a holding penalty for the Mustangs. You know, Race has really stepped in and made that transition seamless. It did take him away from the passing game, and Cheyenne's had to shuffle some players around. But he still made it, you know, made Cheyenne's ground game very effective, as we're going to be at 2nd and 8 now after that penalty.
Wilson's going to get this, and he's stopped.
Race Wilson on the carry. Number 6, Coulter Simon on the
3rd and long.
3rd and long.
Deep in their own territory.
I think this is one where you don't risk too much with this. You know, maybe a jet sweep type of thing, something like that. See if you can get somebody going where you don't have to put the ball in the air. You don't want to.
Oh, it's caught.
Cooper Bryant.
Look at this. Cooper Bryant gets a pass over the middle, and he gets a big gain, and Cooper Bryant jukes back and gets tackled at the 50-yard line. What a gain.
Well, I tell you what, I just get done saying, hey, don't be too aggressive. Be smart with this. And Coach Newton turns it loose. He has a lot of trust in Caden Olson, and Caden Olson has just grown as this season has gone on. He's really starting to get the essence of how to run this offense. And there it is.
Fires deep here, and this pass is caught.
He's gone.
This is Caleb Deere. He's off to the races, and Caleb Deere is in for the touchdown.
Great job by Caden Olson with the little shoulder shrug. Got that D-back to bite on that. And once Deere was clear of him with his speed and athleticism, once the catch was made, he was gone. So you're at 3rd and long, 3rd and 11 from your own 5. 2 plays later, you're scoring. You're up 20-0 on the team that ended your season last year. Wow, what a turn of events, and what a great play call, great execution by the Mustangs.
Back-to-back big plays to Cooper Bryant, then Caleb Deere.
13,
Caden Olson with his 9th passing touchdown in the last 2 weeks.
And Deere his 5th reception.
Absolutely, and that extra point is good. And the Mustangs lead 21-0 here with 5:31 to go here in the second quarter. They're just rolling the Patriots right now. Let's see if they can keep that up. We'll be right back, folks.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
And in the second quarter, Fargo Davies 15, Bismarck
Mustangs strike for the third time in a row. This time it was Caleb Deere on a long touchdown reception, 50 yards to be exact, after the big play before that to Cooper Bryant. And the Mustangs up 21-0 on the Patriots team that ended their season a year ago on this field in the quarterfinals. Fifth time these teams have met in the postseason in the last 6 years. Century's gotten the better hand in the first 4 matches. 2018 semifinal game, the Mustangs lost 31-20, and then the back-to-back years in the state championship, 10-0 and 34-0 in 2019-2020, and then last year, 27-8.
Here's Coach Newton trying to exercise some demons here tonight. Has unleashed his squad to a 21-0 lead.
Most points the Mustangs have scored against Century in the playoffs.
Well, they're coming up another score, and they're going to match their previous 4 games combined point output, having been outscored 112-28 in the previous 4 matchups. And there's a Century Patriot down.
Yeah, I mean, if you look like I say, you look at those results. It was Century winning 31-20 in that first playoff matchup 5 years ago, the 2018 semis, and it was 10-0, then 34-0, and then last year 27-8. So yeah, I mean, Mustangs now have that scoring total up to 49 against the Patriots. The Patriots have stood at 102 all time against the Mustangs in the postseason. Yeah. 21-0. I mean, yeah, that's a new PR against Century in the playoffs.
It is, and again, one more touchdown, and you match all your previous 4 games output. So,
Me too.
Century player, as they're tending to him, you know, I think if you're Cheyenne here, you know, remind guys that you got to keep this pace, this intensity up. You're up 21-0, but we've seen in high school football before things can change rather quickly. You just need to keep this gas going, and boy, if you can get a stop here. We know Cheyenne gets the second half kickoff. That would be huge for the Mustangs if they could hold Century on this drive, or turn them over, maybe get a chance to try and pop one more in before halftime.
And you get the Mustangs get the second half kickoff as well.
And that, you know, Bismarck, then you start as any player starts thinking about, man, it's cold out. Man, I got a long drive home to get home to my bed. And it kind of saps the energy out of you. So, you know, Cheyenne, this is going to be a big series here. If they're able to hold them, that would be a fantastic result for the Mustangs. It's going to be about 2nd and 7 coming up.
A year ago, it was the Patriots who had the explosive start. They were up 20-0. This time, the Mustangs, it's in their favor. They're up 21-0 here, and we're not even at the end of the first half. Twardowski drops back, and that pass is incomplete. Slips through the hands of Haraldstad.
Great hit by Knodel. I think the refs missed a holding there. Knodel got around that right side, and it looked to be a handful of jersey. So he was making his way towards Twardowski, but nobody saw that. So Century gets away with one there, but it still brings up 3rd and 7.
Third and 7. Patriots with their backs against the walls once again. Twardowski faces a pressure, and he's sacked.
Celebrating 4th and 10. Century wasting no time, bringing the punter on. Race Wilson, is that Sully Irie back there with him? Go deep for the return.
Christian Jekyll on punt formation for the Patriots. Grace Wilson and Sullivan.
Defense came to play this evening.
Yes, they did.
I think this is the best we've seen the defense play in the first half all season long, and it's in the most important game of the year. This one's returned by Wilson. He's going to try to get
He
around to
gets
the
the
right
corner.
side. Look at this. And Wilson gets a block, and he gets all the way up past the 40 at the 35.
No flags. He actually returns it back past the original line of scrimmage. Line of scrimmage there was about the 37 or 38, and he gets it up to the 36.
34-yard return by Wilson, and the Mustangs have just been putting the pressure on the Patriots all night.
And you could see that develop as Wilson was trying to gain the edge. As soon as he got it, he saw open field for quite a ways. They're riding race Wilson tonight. Wilson sticks it in there and then pulls it back and opts to keep it himself. Probably no gain on that one. Bring up 2nd and 10.
No gain makes it second down and 10.
Olsen drops back. He's going to fire deep here. This pass is caught. Oh, what a catch!
Cooper Bryant pulls it in.
Cooper Bryant.
Looked like he bobbled it for just a second, but pulls it in. Refs say it's good. Up down to the 4-yard line. And Cheyenne right up to the line of scrimmage.
Up for grabs, and Cooper Bryant with another big reception.
They've got a Century guy out of position, and they're going to have a timeout. I think Coach Wingenbach knew that was trouble, and he had to waste a timeout there as they had a man trying to get off the field, and they sent him back on. And Coach Wingenbach said, whoa, that's not good, and he uses his second timeout of the half.
Cooper Bryant up for grabs with another big catch, and the Mustangs just continue to pour it onto the Patriots. They now got it down at the 4, and to go up 4 scores here. I mean, this is what we wanted to see. I mean, last year, we could feel it in the booth, the energy. They Century sucked the life out of us.
They really did.
And now the tables have turned this year, and this is exactly what I was talking about. You have to come in angry. I mean, this is the team that prevented your chance to go at back-to-back.
And you've mentioned several times over the course of the season, Jackson, just the excitement that this RPO brings. When you have teams airing it out, even if you're not always completing it, it's an exciting play. It keeps fans on the edge of their seat. It keeps them engaged. It's not that the flex offense didn't do that, but it was very methodical, and Cheyenne used that when they had those types of players to be successful. But this is an offense. You look away for a second, and a touchdown happens.
That pass is incomplete in the corner of the end zone. He's looking for Walter.
Number 28, Jordan Kellogg on the coverage for the Patriots.
Mustangs looking for their first win against Bismarck Century in the playoffs all time. Wilson's going to get this now, and he's just hits a wall.
Number 3, Race Wilson on the carry. Brought down by number 60, Roman Faraci.
Faraci on the tackle. And that's going to be 3rd down just like that. 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half.
But this keeps that clock running.
Olsen drops back. He fires to the left corner, and the pass is batted away. Haas on the intended receiver.
Jump ball, two Century defenders in the area. Good thing he put it out there where he did, over that shoulder. If that had been underthrown and a Century interception, there was nothing standing in the way between a Century defender and the other end zone. So 4th and 5. We go to Caleb Deere here.
4th down. You're in 4 down territory, of course, at the 5. Olsen's going to fire, and this pass is caught in the right corner of the end zone. That's Wilson.
Great job by Caden Olsen, looking off the defense, getting everyone to shift their eyes and their attention to the defense's right as Wilson leaks out the backside on the left, and when he lets it go, no one within 5 yards of Wilson, and 27-0. Who would have thought that was how it was going to look with 3:10 to go in the second quarter, Jackson?
Well, we know the team who wants it more, and that's the Mustangs. I mean, you haven't beaten this team in the playoffs ever. This is the night to do it. The extra point by Odlin is good, and he's 4 for 4 now. Mustangs lead 28-0. They are just pouring it on. Wilson this time gets the receiving touchdown. Mustangs up 28-0. You're watching North Dakota High School playoff football here on Mustang Media.
Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future. And if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in.
(28-0) Race Wilson with the 5-yard touchdown reception from Olson. Olson with 2 through the air, 2 on the ground of his own.
Boy, and you know, if you're Coach Wingenbach, now you got to start doing something about it, but you're down 28-0. There's 3:10 left. You've already burned 2 of your timeouts in the half. Cheyenne's getting the ball to start the second half. It's how aggressive are you here, or do you just try and get into the locker room and hope that you can come out with, make some adjustments at halftime and make something better? Because right now, as you've said, Jackson, they're getting run off this turf tonight.
Take a look at the updated scores going on around the AAA playoff bracket. We got Shanley up 50-0 against West Fargo with 4 minutes to go in the third. Minot's up 13-7 on Mandan with a minute to go in the first half, and Davie still leads Bismarck at halftime 15-7. Winner of this game faces the winner of the Minot and Mandan game. Then on the 2A side, we got a 14-14 game between Red River and Jamestown. 21-10, Central leads Fargo South. Fargo North leads Valley City 34-0, and Horace up 6-0 on Dickinson. And Lil's going to keep this, or excuse me, Twardowski's going to keep this up the middle. It's past the 50.
Good. No, penalty on the play. That usually is the indication of holding there. That's not what the Patriots need. Yeah, this is going to back them up.
That penalty will make it first down and 20.
First and 20, backs the Patriots up 10 yards.
I don't know if that was a conscious decision.
No, shout out to our camera crew this evening.
They're
working in some hostile conditions, below freezing, 25 degrees. And this is kept by Twardowski once again. And oh boy, he's got some speed here. He breaks a tackle up past the 50, gets up down the right sideline before he's pushed out of bounds at the 25.
This is, hope it's not a case of Cheyenne kind of letting off the gas here. That's something that Cheyenne's had trouble with, giving up big chunk runs over the course of the season. And you certainly don't want to let Century feel like they have some life and punch a touchdown in here late in the first half. So Cheyenne D is going to have to stiffen up here and see if they can't keep Century out of the end zone.
This one's Lil.
Number 9, Gavin Lil on the carry. Jackson Becker in on the stop.
Gain of about 6 on that one.
Approaching 2 minutes here in the first half. That's been all Cheyenne. They lead 28-0. 4 consecutive touchdowns. Century, this is really their only second trip that they've gotten deep into the Mustang territory.
Fans trying to get the Mustang defense involved here. Oh,
nearly forward. Twardowski is brought down in the backfield. Another sack.
Not sure if that was supposed to go to Lil or if he pulled that one back, but he almost fumbled it and then found himself in no man's land on the receiving end of 3 Mustangs there to sack him. So you take 2nd and 6 and you turn that into a 3rd and 9, and the clock continues to run as we're down to minute 10 to go and you only have 1 timeout left.
Twardowski drops back, fires deep, and that pass is caught. Oh, look at that catch from Lil.
Great job going up, catching it at the peak, and just out jumping Sully Irie. Really great pass and reception by Lil. So first and goal at the 7, but under about 50 seconds to go, under a minute here, and only one timeout for Century. So they're going to be content. Either they're getting it in this time, or that's going to be the end of it. Great job.
Mansky and Menz there.
And there goes the last timeout for Century. 35 seconds left.
Connor Mansky in on the stop for the Mustangs.
So Jackson, if you throw it, you got plenty of time. You can run, multiple plays throwing it to the end zone. But if you get tackled, then your offense has to get up. You got to try and clock it, and then you don't have that luxury of time because you had to burn 2 timeouts. One trying to decide, do we kick a field goal or go for it on the first drive. And the second time, before Cheyenne's last touchdown, a defensive lineman that kind of got caught in no man's land, trying to get off the field, then had to try and get back on the field, and they had to burn a timeout there. So I'm going to guess Coach Wingenbach, knowing the situation, he knows that probably going to have to go towards the end zone here. They're going to have to, if they're going to pass it, they're going to have to get routes that are into the end zone or at the goal line. If they run it, I would almost suspect, I don't want to say gimmickish, but something that's misdirection, something that gets the defense over pursuing in one direction and hopefully springs a guy free. I think that's maybe your best option here if you're Century.
You got to get on the board. Twardowski's going to go play action here. He's going to pump fake and eventually keeps it here. Jukes to the right, and Twardowski's in for the touchdown.
Number 11, Drew Nodland on the carry. Touchdown, Patriots.
Oh, no. That was not Twardowski.
A 7-yard touchdown run.
It was number 11.
That was number 11, Drew Nodland. Not sure if there was something wrong with Twardowski or they just had something dialed up specifically with a different quarterback. Regardless, 28-6.
Actually, Twardowski's number 5. I think Nodland's been the quarterback the whole time.
Kick.
We just assumed that it was Twardowski. It's actually Nodland that's been in there.
Drew Nodland to hold on to attempt the extra point is number 39.
So here's a chance to bring it to 21. There's only 28 seconds left here in the half.
And that extra point is good. We do apologize to whoever is viewing this out in Bismarck. Yes, that is number 11, Drew Nodland. He's the starting quarterback this evening. He gets in for that touchdown. 28 seconds to go, and Century strikes finally here just before halftime.
Well, you got in within 3 scores. You left Cheyenne really no time. I don't know if Cheyenne even bothers to try and make something happen here. You just take a knee, content to be up 21 points. But again, Cheyenne gets the ball to start the second half. That's certainly not in the favor of the Patriots, but it's got to feel good to get the monkey off the back to finally punch one in here today.
That's true.
And that's how it has to start. Again, there's no 28-point play. There was no 14-point play. You just got to get one. And then you got to find a way to get a stop. And then you see if you can find a way to get a second one, and you just keep kind of pecking away at it. There's no point to continue or to go deep and go vertical with it every time. The odds of success for that are not very good.
Boy, Dan, I don't know how we messed that up. Drew Nodland's been the starting quarterback the entire. I don't know. I guess we don't remember Twardowski number 5.
Good tackle there in the open field. Looked like there was a little bit of opening, but Century closes that down.
It's Penu on the return. Wonder if Twardowski's out with an injury. He's been the starting quarterback for the Patriots the entire season.
So about 27-yard line with 23 seconds to go. We'll see Race Wilson going deep there. I think this is just going to be a let's take a knee and get out of here. And that's indeed the case.
They're just down in it to get to halftime.
And so 28-7 halftime lead for Cheyenne. virtually everything went their way the first half.
I think the Patriots are just stunned at what just hit them. The Mustangs came out with 4 consecutive touchdowns, 2 on the ground from Olsen, and then a deep pass to Deere, and then 1 to Wilson in the corner of the end zone. And the lone touchdown coming from Bismarck Century is Drew Nolan, who is the starting quarterback this evening. Number 11, he made a nice play to get the Patriots on the board. But 28-7, the Mustangs lead here in this quarterfinal matchup between the Patriots and the Mustangs here at Essentia Health Mustang Stadium. We'll be right back before the start of the second half. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching North Dakota High School football here on Mustang Media.
Here, when our path takes an unexpected turn, we keep moving forward. When life sends us a message, we listen. When you're determined to beat the odds, we help you plan for what's next. This is commitment, resourcefulness, determination. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future, and if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in. Here, when your future lies ahead, we help set you on the right course. When your whole world is about to change, we help you prepare for your new life. When staying healthy means staying informed, we help you find answers. This is perseverance, understanding, connection. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together. Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future, and if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in.
Here, when our path takes an unexpected turn, we keep moving forward. When life sends us a message, we listen. When you're determined to beat the odds, we help you plan for what's next. This is commitment, resourcefulness, determination. These are remarkable people. Here, when your future lies ahead, we help set you on the right course. When your whole world is about to change, we help you prepare for your new life. When staying healthy means staying informed, we help you find answers. This is perseverance, understanding, connection. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future, and if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in. Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future, and if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
Second half kickoff just a few minutes away. Mustangs lead this one 28-7. The lone Century touchdown coming from Drew Nodlin, number 11. Twardowski is out this evening. Can't get it out. It's trying to talk
Drew
too
Nodlin
fast.
has been on the.
That's the kind of stuff that gets you fired in the real time.
Oh, well.
I'm just kidding.
So at halftime, if you're Century, you're down 21 points. You did get some momentum going. You got to score. And it's not that Century hasn't been able to move the ball. They've just, had a couple bad plays here and there. They had the fumble, the turnover. But they've moved the ball at times tonight. And I think if you're Coach Wingenbach, you focus on the things that we've done well. Now, the things that we haven't done as well, contain the passing game at times. They're going to have to find a way to shut down Race Wilson running, and this is where a lot of this comes. Maybe either you subscribe to the theory that there's tons of adjustments that are made at halftime, or it's just kind of that rah-rah speech and guys just go out and play harder. Whichever it is, for Coach Wingenbach, you got to find a way to slow down Race Wilson, continue to move the ball, punch some scores in, and see if you can get it to within a score with about 5 minutes left, and you have a chance, right? If you're Cheyenne, well, let's keep doing what we've been doing. We get the ball to start the half until they prove that they can stop Race Wilson, until they can prove that they can figure out what we've been doing offensively. Let's just keep moving the ball. Let's keep feeding the guys that have gotten us there. Defensively, they've given up some chunk plays at times. But, again, it's been that bend but not break philosophy, and they're holding their own. And so if you're Cheyenne, you would love to go down and get points out of this first possession if at all possible. If you can't, well, then you're going to have to put it on your defense to do some work. There's about 2.5 minutes to go here. We'll do a quick update of scores around the state here. In the 3A, of course, this one 28-7 at halftime. Shanley up 50-14 with 3 minutes left in that one against West Fargo. So it looks like West Fargo's season may be coming to an end. Mandan holding a 1-point lead over Minot, 14-13 at halftime. And Davies continues to lead Bismarck 15-7 in the matchup out in Bismarck. In the 2A, we got Red River leading the defending champs, Jamestown 28-21, less than a minute to go in the fourth. Central 28-10. This is probably maybe the upset of certainly of the 2A. Fargo South, the 2 seed, is taking it from Central. It's only halftime, but South kind of in a situation that Century is in, down big at halftime and going to have to figure something out for the second half. North all over Valley City, 41-0. That's still 10 minutes to go in the third. And then Horace hanging on at halftime, up 6-0 against Dickinson.
Kane Olson with 2 touchdowns on the ground to open it up for the Mustangs. Mustangs got that early kickoff recovery, Dan. And then also two big ones through the air. We had, there's that stretch where the Mustangs were deep in their own territory. The big pass to Cooper Bryant, and then Caleb Deere running it in, running off to the races for his score, and then Race Wilson caught one in the corner of the end zone after another big catch from Cooper Bryant that was down right around the 5. Mustangs, this is exactly what you wanted, and like you said, don't fix what isn't broken.
Yeah, Bryant's not going to show up as far as scoring touchdowns, but backed up at their own 5 with a third down, comes up with about a 45, 50-yard reception, that flip field position, and then on the very next play, Caden Olson does a great job, gives a little shoulder fake, gives the pump fake. The Century defender bites on it. Deere gets behind him, and Olson hits him in stride, and he runs away to the end zone, as you said, finding Race Wilson in the corner for that last touchdown.
The Mustangs trying to avenge Here's a little Taylor Swift total here. A little funny.
There we go.
That's been the hot topic in the NFL, Dan. Her and Travis Kelce.
I am aware.
I mean, that. Not sure what, I'm sure it's all for publicity or something like that. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. Who knows?
Maybe it's love. Maybe it's love.
28-7. Mustangs trying to avenge their early round exit against the Patriots that happened a year ago on this field. Century came in and won 27-8. They've won each of the 4 playoff matchups against the Mustangs. 2 of those have been in the state championship, the Dakota Bowl 2019-2020, and then their first matchup was in the semis, which Century also won back in 2018, 31-20. What's interesting is the first time these two teams ever squared off was in the season opener of the 2017 regular season. The Mustangs escaped with the victory, 16-14. It's another cool fact between these two teams. The Mustangs won the first ever matchup, and we are underway here for the second half. A little squib kick that's going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback.
Smartly done by Race Wilson there. It looked for a second. It might not get there, but it does. So that'll allow Sheyenne to start from the 20 and not have to have Wilson try and bring that one out. So we'll see. Is this going to be continuing to feed Race Wilson here and see if they can get something going on the ground, continue things, and maybe those quick hitting passes that they were able to find in the first half, maybe look to go deep occasionally if they think they've seen something. If Coach Newton thinks there's a chance on a big hitter, maybe do that, but we'll see here.
First play of the second half, and this is up the middle with Race Wilson.
And that's going to be enough to...
It's going to be a first down on the first play.
So a gain of 10, that's the way you want to start.
10-yard gain, first and 10 from the...
And they're going to keep going with tempo, trying to keep Century kind of on their heels a little bit.
And Olson's going to fire a deep pass. This one is caught in stride. That's Kobe Walter.
Boy, if he had been able to lead Walter on that one, Walter would have been gone. He kind of had to slow down for a second to catch it, but still a big hitting play. And Cheyenne able to gouge the Century defense, back-to-back plays, and move the ball.
Olson keeps that one.
Got a couple on that, maybe 3. Now maybe it's Century that maybe wants to look for some kind of, run blitz, bringing those linebackers up. Certainly Cheyenne's been able to move the ball through the air more effectively than Century tonight. That's a bit of a gamble, but when you're down 28-7 and your opponent's moving the ball, you're going to have to take some risks. Maybe bring some pressure from the edge, bring it from a corner, something like that. So 3rd and 7.
Wilson dumps this. Oh, batted away. He was looking for Wilson there, and that's
good defensive play. Hard to tell if Ole Taylor got a hand on it or at least just disrupted Wilson's field of vision. Regardless, good job by Taylor. It is 4-down territory for the Mustangs, but 4th and 7, a little bit more than what they're hoping to bite off.
Olson fires over the middle, and that is caught. That's Kobe Walter again.
Kind of a back shoulder throw, but not a lot on that. Good adjustment by Walter to come back to the ball. And the Century defender kind of unhappy with himself. I think he was in really good position, but just didn't react quickly enough to Walter coming back.
Oh, look at this. Wilson breaks free up the middle and gets tackled just inside the 5.
Wilson continuing to be the workhorse tonight.
Wilson had a receiving touchdown towards the end of the first half in the right corner of the end zone. Olson's going to keep it up the middle. Here he has 2 on the ground. Olson's going to get 3 on the ground, and he's in for his 3rd rushing touchdown.
That's something, Jackson, that as this year has gone on, at the beginning of the year, Caden Olson obviously very comfortable throwing the ball, not so much running the ball. He looked a little timid at times. Not sure if he should, tuck it and move upfield or how hard he should run and those sorts of things. And as this season's gone on, he's become more and more aggressive as a runner, seeing the field much better, and it shows with the 2 running touchdowns last week and now tacking on the 3 tonight.
Nodlin is 5 for 5.
Nope.
Oh, wait, no, never mind. Yep, never mind. Looks good from here, but it's wide to the right, and it stays 34-7 here with 10-11 to go in the third quarter. Another great drive capped off by Caden Olson, rushing touchdown. Mustangs lead 34-7. You're watching North Dakota High School football here on Mustang Media.
What does it take to make fitness part of your lifestyle? It's intention. It's commitment. It's resilience. It's just who you are. You put in the time and effort to stay active. Our expert orthopedic and sports medicine providers also put in the time and effort to invest in new methods and treatments. Whatever you do to stay active, we are here to keep you moving. It's just who we are. Orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
We are back here for the kickoff after the Caden Olson rushing touchdown. Ladies and gentlemen, Essentia Health is proud to be the premier sponsor of Mustang Media and partner with Sheyenne High School to make a healthy difference in the lives of the students and families we are privileged to serve. Essentia Health like nowhere else. And if you take a look at the scoring update, Jamestown tied Red River. It's now 20-28 under less than a minute to go in the fourth quarter. Clutch touchdown from the Blue Jays. And this is going to be returned by Jensen.
Good starting field position for the Patriots here, up to about their own 43. We'll see now if Coach Wingenbach was able and his staff to make some adjustments on what they wanted to do offensively, maybe find a way to be more consistent in that running game, or maybe there's some kind of passing options that they've been able to unlock here as they go into the second half, now down 4 scores.
Drew Nodlin with the lone touchdown for the Patriots. This one goes to Lil. Gets a cut around the outside and quick burst of speed.
He strings it out. I think that was Mansky out there, lost contain. You got to set that edge and make that running back cut back and go up the field. And they were able to hook him and get outside, and Lil moves the ball, gets a first down. Gain of 11 on that one.
Gets up to the 46-yard line, so new set of downs for the Patriots here on their opening drive of the second half. They trail 34-7 with 9:57 to go here in the third quarter.
And again, I still don't know that this is a situation that...
Look at this! Nodlin sacked by number 53, Jackson Becker.
I was going to say, I don't know it's a situation yet that you have to panic if you're Century, if you're able to keep moving it, but loss of 8 is not, or loss of 7 there is not what you wanted.
Lil keeps it to the left side, gets past 50, gets a block, and Lil has a big gain here, and he gets another block, and Lil breaks up down the sideline, gets tackled at the 10.
Well-designed draw there. Got that whole Mustang defense start leaning to their left, and then that draw look, and they get the ball to Lil, and we know how quick he is. He gets around the edge, and he turns on the gas. He is tough to bring down. So there's a big gain. You know, I don't know that Sheyenne wants to get in a situation where you're trading touchdowns like they did last week with Mandan for much of the game. Cheyenne's going to want to see if they can get a stop here, but nice job by Century responding to that opening touchdown. They're down to the 10.
And Nodlin's going to keep it now, and he gets in for the touchdown. And Century answers right back with a touchdown of their own. Nonland with his second rushing touchdown.
They'll continue to go for one at this point. See if that missed extra point by Odland comes in and plays a role in things as the game goes on. But Jangua here.
The extra point is good. 34-14. Century answers right back with the touchdown of their own coming from Nodland once again on the ground.
Great response by Century, and most importantly, didn't take a lot of time. Took about a minute and a half. If Century can find a way to get a stop, a couple of stops, that's going to be the advantage that they have. And if they can move the ball that quickly, that's going to be a chance to get back in this game.
And especially after, answering back with, 2nd and 17 they were facing after that Jackson Becker sack.
Great call by Coach Wingenbach, and nice run by Lil up the sideline. It's like a lot of the fans have stuck around here. Not too many have left. It is still bitterly cold outside.
It's not over.
To be sitting in the aluminum bleachers.
You got to feel for the cheerleaders too, Dan. I mean, they're out there where it's nippy. Very cold out. Coldest game of the year, and it's not even November. This one's returned by Wilson. He hits a wall just past the 20.
So say Sheyenne tried to set up a wall, but Century's wall of tacklers were there to handle him.
Number 24, Cash Weisenberger on the stop for the Patriots.
They say Weisenberger got that one, but there was a whole host of Patriots. Cheyenne's going to start at about their own 20.
16-yard return sets up the Mustangs. 1st and 10 from the
All right, can Sheyenne continue their offensive onslaught?
This is the most points they've ever scored against Bismarck Century.
Number 3, Race Wilson.
Wilson stopped right around the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 8 for the Mustangs.
Wilson's going to roll it to his left, throws across his body, pass is caught by Haas.
It's a really tough throw.
How about that?
To throw as you're moving left as a right-handed quarterback, still to put some zip on that, and good adjustment by Caleb Haas. He kind of got turned around, but stayed with the ball, looked it in, and they moved the chains.
Dump off pass here to Wilson out of the backfield, and Wilson gets a block, cuts back to his right. He's pushed out of bounds, or tackled at the 45.
Again, just as good as a running play there.
Gain of 6 makes it second down and 4.
They go back again to that same play. This time Century is there. I think that was no gain on that. So 3rd and about 4 here. Mustangs still shy of midfield.
Wilson's going to keep it now, fakes the pass. He gets tackled a couple yards short of the first down. It's going to be around 4th and 2.
So decision here for Coach Newton at nearly midfield. Do you go for it at 4th and 2, or do you kick this one away? Cheyenne keeping the offense on the field. This is the opportunity that Century's been looking for. If they can get a stop here, work with a short field. But it looks like Olsen got enough. Not by a lot, but enough.
Yeah, it got me nervous there for a second, but Olsen trips across the first down marker. New set of downs for the Mustangs. They keep the drive alive. Olsen fires across the middle. That pass is caught.
That was Haas again, I think.
Yeah. There's Caleb Haas. Another deep reception for him across the middle.
Nice job. Good crossing route. You had the outside receivers going long, occupying safety's attention, and then you just bring Haas across the middle there, and he's wide open. Olsen puts him on him in great position. And another first down.
Bryant in motion. Olsen dumps it off. Oh!
It would have been a one-on-one there, but not a bad play design, but just outside the reach of Bryant. That'll bring up second down.
Wilson gets this one up the middle.
Boy, he just continues to be tough to bring down, and he moves the chains again. Inside the red zone for the Mustangs. Century just has not found an answer to that tonight.
Dumps it off to Wilson, gets a great block, cuts back to the left, and stumbles over the defender, gets tackled right around the 12.
Gain of about 6 there.
Gain of 5 makes it second down and 5.
I saw a little boy do a cartwheel on the ice. He's going to get...
Olsen fires, and that is, just out of reach. He's looking for Walter there.
Walter, a little skinny post. Got the inside position, but just too much on that one. He had the position, but Walter couldn't lay it in there, or Olsen couldn't lay it in there, so a little too much juice on that one.
Olsen keeps this. And look at this. Caden Olsen almost broke free for his 4th rushing touchdown.
That's going to be enough to get a first and goal from the 5.
That's another Mustangs first down.
It's going to be first and goal now from the 5. Dump off pass here. This is Wilson, and he's in for the touchdown. Second receiving touchdown for Race Wilson, and the Mustangs offense continues their onslaught. It is now 40 to 14, 41 if Holland can put this extra point through. It's back to a 4-score game. Or 4-possession game, yeah.
Sullivan Irie to hold. Chase Adlin on to attempt the extra point.
That one's good.
Odlin redeems himself, 5 for 6 on the evening for extra points. Great performance. Mustangs are up 41 to 14. A Race Wilson receiving touchdown to the backfield with 5:09 to go in the third quarter. You're watching North Dakota High School football here on Mustang Media.
Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future, and if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in.
We're back after the Race Wilson touchdown, and Jamestown pulled off the 35-34 victory over Red River. Heartbreaking loss there for Red River. It was actually in overtime, I believe.
I wonder if Red River went for 2 for the win, or if it's a missed extra point and the weather played a factor.
So the overtime is the same as college football. You get each team starts from 25 and you go until someone gets a stop. And I think Jamestown scored first, and then Red River got a chance. Each team gets at least one chance, and Red River comes up a point short. And the defending champs, the Blue Jays, are going to move on to the semifinals.
Survive and advance.
Meanwhile, Grand Forks Central continues to pile on Fargo South. It's 35-10 there with 4 minutes to go in the third. 41-7 for Fargo North and Valley City. And low-scoring affair. Still halftime between Horace and Dickinson, 6-0.
I think Dickinson and Bismarck and Minot, all places that saw significantly more snow than the FM area. Not sure what the weather might be out there, but probably just as nasty and cold there as it is here, maybe even more so.
Nonland pump fakes. He's brought down.
That's another coverage sack right there. That was.
Once again, it is number 53, Jackson Becker.
Jackson Becker with the sack, but again, credit has to go to the Mustang secondary on that one. Nodland just had no place to go with that, and that's what got Becker the time to get to the quarterback. It's a nice job by the secondary of the Mustangs.
It looks like Shanley pulled out the 50-14 victory over West Fargo. That's the final score, so the defending champs are moving on to the semifinal round. And it's 21-14 between Minot and Mandan. Minot leads at the start of the fourth quarter, and Davies still up on Bismarck with 8 minutes to go in the game, 15-7.
So, penalty there. Moves the chains for Century. Gets them a first down just shy of midfield. That's what they need. Keep the ball moving. Good job by the Mustang line there, stacking everything up, nowhere to go.
Gain of 1. 2nd and 9 from midfield.
Nodland drops the ball for a second there.
And he's going to get some pressure again, almost fumbled, but he holds on to it, and Nodland's going to get past the 50 before he's pushed out of bounds.
Flag comes in there. I'm not sure what the call's going to be. Ref's discussing it here. See what the call is. Yeah,
blindside block.
Blindside block. There was a line. I don't know. That looked close. I mean, when you're running, it wasn't a push from behind.
Number 11, Drew Donlin on the carry. He is leveled by number 25, Carson Wilkie. Hey, Mustang fans. It's third down and long for the Patriots.
Third and short, or excuse me, third and long.
Third and forever. Oh, there's some running room for Nodland.
Nodland's going to try to stretch out the ball here, and he's going to get the first down. Look at that.
Good recognition by Nodland, seeing that there was no one out there, and his receivers recognizing the quarterback on the move. Turned and laid some good blocks, got him through. Shy of the first down, but makes it fourth and manageable, and at between 2.5 and 3 minutes left in the third, and you're down 41-14, Jackson. I think everything kind of has to be a 4-down territory now for Century if you feel like you're going to have a chance, unless it's 4th and 25 or something. But certainly at 4th and 2, they're going to go for this. Quick out.
Yep,
that should
he got
be
it.
enough.
Nodland's pass is complete to number 9, Gavin Lill.
Lill catches that one, a little out. Olsen just a half-second late getting there, pushes him out, but it's enough to move the chains for Century.
First and 10 from the Mustangs' 40-yard line.
Run up the middle. This is Lil.
Good job by Will. The fullback seemed to lose his footing a little bit, taking off, but Will still finds a way to pick his way through there and pick up about 5 yards on that, maybe 6. Nice run.
Gain of 6 will make it second down and 4.
So we're coming down on 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Cheyenne still up 27 points here.
Nolan rolls all right, gets rid of it, and that's through the hands of Zimmerman.
Yeah, going for the fullback there. Boy, that play action didn't do a lot to stop the rush of the Mustangs. That was meant to provide him some time to survey, and Nodlin looked up and he had two Mustangs bearing down on him, and he had to get rid of it. Maybe he had not exactly in the position he would have liked to have gotten it to Zimmerman, and that's kind of how it works.
Nolan facing some pressure, rolling out to his right, and he's brought down at the 40.
Wilkie again. That'll bring up 4th and 10. I think a timeout by Century there, so as they take a timeout, we'll take one ourselves for a quick break. We'll be right back.
Yeah, 41-14, Mustangs lead with 1:43 to go here in the third quarter.
Here, when our path takes an unexpected turn, we keep moving forward. When life sends us a message, we listen. When you're determined to beat the odds, we help you plan for what's next. This is commitment, resourcefulness, determination. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
Mustang fans making some noise here, yeah.
4th down and 10. Rolls out to his left, facing some pressure, gets rid of it, has the potential to be an interception. That is caught.
Oh, it bounced off him.
Or did it bounce off? Yeah,
it bounced off. Looked like he maybe had a chance at it. They rolled Nodland out to give him some room. And I think it was a situation where Jamison Allen got there right at the same time as the ball and just got a hand in there, and it bounces off the shoulder pads of the intended receiver. And so this is going to be a first down for Cheyenne with 1:34 to go in the third and this 27-point lead.
Mustangs 13 minutes and 34 seconds away from going to their 5th semifinal in the last 6 seasons. Wilson up the middle.
Number 67, Evan Schmidt. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 for the Mustangs.
Olsen drops back, fires deep over the middle. That pass is nearly caught by Haas.
Ended up with Haas and Deere in the same area. We've seen that a few times from the Mustangs this year, where they end up with 2 receivers in almost the same area, and it's hard to know who was intended. There's a Century Patriot down there. So Haas still almost comes up with the catch, but it's going to be 3rd and about 7 here when we sort out the injury situation.
With 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, Fargo Davies 15, Bismarck High 7.
Still, Davies leads Bismarck 15-7. Just a little bit to go in the fourth quarter. Winner of that game plays Shanley at Sid Chichi Stadium here in South Fargo. for one of the two semifinal matches.
Not sure what happened to the injured Patriot there, but the training staff attending to him.
Minot still leads Mandan 21-14, 10 minutes to go in that one.
So that would be a rematch of a game here at Sheyenne just a few weeks ago when Sheyenne was able to defeat Minot. If both teams hold on and the scores stand, that would be a game here at Sheyenne next Friday.
Yeah, we'll be there to broadcast that one. Will potentially be, depending on where I go to college, that'll be my potential last football game. Calling for Mustang Media. Next week. Bittersweet.
Looked like maybe Jordan Kellogg there. He walked off under his own power, which is great to see. But he'll take a seat. Gain of about 3 on that one. Maybe 4, but it's going to bring up a 4th down. Cheyenne still in their territory. They are not making the move that they're going to punt, so they're going to go ahead and go for this on 4th down with a 27-point lead.
Brian in motion. Play action. Olsen drops back, fires over the middle. That pass is. Ooh, he had to adjust course there.
That was behind Race Wilson. It looked like it kind of hung on his hand for a second, like he had it, but unable to come down with it. Olsen was facing some pressure there. I don't think he was able to step into that one and put it where he wanted. He kind of had to get rid of it sidearm, and Wilson unable to come down with it. So Century gets the ball back. 33 seconds left here, but this is, obviously, Jackson, this is must-score time for Century. It's 4 downs for every possession, and hoping that they can make something happen here.
Very long third quarter, a lot of stoppages. 33 seconds to go here in the third. It's the run up the middle.
It's Lil again. So certainly Lil and Wilson have been the workhorses for the respective squads tonight. At 20 seconds, and we'll see if, looks like Coach Wingenbach's going to be content to just let the quarter expire. I would almost think you'd want to get a playoff since you don't have a lot of time left, but at 5 seconds to go, that's not going to happen, and that'll be the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, and the Mustangs, that's exactly, they did let it get out of hand. Nope. With the, Century answered after the Mustangs scored, but the Mustangs were able to put another one in, and now they're still at four touchdowns.
Yeah, 4 scores. That was huge. Yes, they gave up 1 to Century, but they, answered with 2 in that half, and that's exactly what you need to do.
Yep, Mustangs lead 41-14. They're 12 minutes away from their 5th semifinal appearance in the last 6 seasons. You're watching North Dakota high school football here on Mustang Media.
Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. Care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future. And if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us because it's always good to check in.
Back for the start of the 4th quarter. It's going to begin with the Nodland pass, and that is nearly caught, but it's knocked away. He was looking for Haraldstad there.
Boy, I think he had a chance at that. Not exactly sure if Cheyenne defender was able to get a hand in there, but it looked like there was a completion there going.
Mustangs 1 quarter away from finally getting their first ever playoff victory against the Bismarck Century Patriots. They lead 41-14. It'll be their 5th semifinal appearance in the last 6 seasons. Nolan gets rid of it. That pass is incomplete. Look for Martin over the middle.
He pump faked there. I don't know if he thought there was a Sheyenne defender that was going to be in the way, but he tucked it down and then went again, unable to complete that. So it brings up 4th and 5 for the Patriots.
Well, my assumption is we'll run the ball a lot, which would cause the clock to run fast. Sorry.
Lil again up the middle. He gets another. He shakes a tackle
he's
and Lil's gone. Touchdown Patriots.
That's the play that Cheyenne's been able to stay away from all night. That big, quick-hitting play up the middle, but Century finally dials one up, and Lil has worked really hard. He's a lot of carries tonight, and he's finally rewarded with about a 40-yard touchdown run there. So that's going to bring it to 41-20.
Drew Noblin to hold. Christian Jangula on to attempt the extra points.
Jangula puts it through 41-21. Lil runs in for a 40-yard score. His first touchdown of the evening.
I think if you're Sheyenne here, up by 20, but into the 4th quarter, I think you got to be aware of any possibility on the kickoff here. Something special that Century might try and dial up, whether that's kind of a pooch kick or maybe even something onside. I think you want to make sure that you have guys prepared for any possibility. A team with their back to the wall, they might be willing to try just about anything at this point.
They're kicking.
Just be aware.
Number 39, Christian Jangula to kick off for Patriots. Deep for the Mustangs, number 3, Race Wilson.
Yep, there it is. Good job.
Mustangs are not fooled.
Maddox Weigel with that. Good job just getting down. But like I said, Jackson, a team, you're going to have to try something at some point, and you can't hardly fault Century for trying the onside kick there. You got to do something to try and get more possessions. As it stands, you maybe got 3 possessions left, and you're down 20 points. That means you have to score on all 3 of yours and shut out Sheyenne. And 3 possessions might be generous. It depends upon if they can get a quick stop here.
Starts with Wilson up the middle. Decent gain, around 5 yards.
Made by number 24, Cash Weisenberger.
Well, Jackson, at the beginning of the game, we talked about, games are often won in the trenches on that offensive and defensive line. And certainly from, when you compare the Sheyenne offensive line versus Century's defensive line tonight, Sheyenne has definitely gotten the better of them. They brought linebackers. They're trying to fill those holes, but Race Wilson has still been very effective on the ground here tonight as we see him going again for another 3 or so here. Maybe a little more evenly matched Century's offensive line versus Cheyenne's defensive line. We just saw Lil crack off that long touchdown run, and they've moved the ball. But Sheyenne has been able to somehow find a way to keep Century from scoring a couple times, where Century's defense just has not been able to keep Sheyenne out of the end zone tonight. And, surprisingly, there's only been the 1 fumble. I guess Race Wilson did fumble, but Sheyenne recovered it. But really the only 1 turnover, and that was on the kickoff. early in the first half. So that's going to bring 4th and 1. Now Cheyenne in less of a rush.
Cash Weisenberger and Landry Wesson leading the way for the Patriots. Gain of 1 makes it 4th down and a yard for the Mustangs.
Do we see Caden Olson maybe stick it in Race Wilson's stomach and then pull it back and see if he can get it? He's been the guy who's been able to get touchdowns. Is he going to be able to get a first down here?
Certainly been the main workhorse.
See if he can get guys moving to follow Wilson. Oh, that's just going to be Wilson.
It's going to be a first down for the Mustangs.
Nice job by Wilson, keeping those legs pumping. And Cheyenne going to be very judicious here. And another Century Patriot is down. And that's going to stop the clock at 9:29. But Cheyenne obviously going to look to try and eat some clock here in the fourth quarter.
Boy, man, it looks like there's going to be. It's it's late in the game. It's very cold out, and yeah, there's been a lot of injuries this evening. Race Wilson was holding his left arm there, and certainly the fatigue has got to be setting in.
It's gone final in Bismarck. Davies beats Bismarck 15-7. So Davies, the 25th Street rivalry continues next week as they'll head about a mile or so up the road, a couple miles to Shanley High School and take on the defending champion Deacons. The other 3A game going on right now, Minot holding on to a 21-14 lead with about 4 minutes to go in the half, and Minot possesses the ball, so things are looking better for Minot in that.
The Mustangs escaped the Magicians with a 28-20 victory, and the Mustangs were actually down in that game 17-14, and they answered with 2 scores, and one of them being, a very top play of the week. I mean, or arguably one of the top plays of the week. Caleb Deere with that Moss touchdown in the corner.
Good job, Race Wilson, just continuing to churn up the yards. Oh, that was Barry Penu in on that one.
I think they're just easing his way in there. He was hurt. He got hurt against Bismarck there a couple weeks ago.
Trying to get him a little, shake the rust off here a little bit, give him a few runs. Good job hitting the hole quickly. And again, Cheyenne just eating clock here as we're coming down towards 8.5 to go.
This is Wilson again.
Penu,
excuse me.
Number 2, Barry Penu on the carries, brought down.
Gets about 1 there. They'll bring up 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
Gain of 1 makes it 3rd and 4 for the Mustangs.
Wilson fires. That pass is caught on the out route. That's a quick out to Cooper Bryant.
Yep. Maybe just half a yard short, So it is going to bring up a 4th and 1.
It is a gain of 3. It will make it 4th down and 1 for the Mustangs from the 28 of the Patriots.
Eight minutes to go in this one. It's going to be 4th and short up the middle here. Oh, big stop there. We'll see if he fights his way forward, though, and see if he can get it.
I think it's going to be short. There's the first stop that Century needed. It's under 8 to go, but here's a chance. Now you've got to convert on this possession.
Patriots will take over 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line.
So the Patriots will take over at the 29-yard line. So they got to march 71 yards quickly. Nodland keeps it on the left side here.
Number 11, Drew Nodland on the carry.
good gain.
Knocked out of bounds by number 6, Jamison Allen.
And maybe just as important, stops the clock. So 7:50 to go.
That's a gain of 5. It'll make it 2nd and 5 for the Patriots.
I think if you're the Cheyenne coaching staff, you're telling your safeties, your D-backs, no one gets behind you. No one, keep them in front of you at all costs. That's what's going to have to happen because we know Century's going to have to air it out at some point, and that's almost a great catch.
Yeah, that was almost caught by number 10. That was Hellstad. He was intended once again. He's had a few targets this evening.
He undercut that route very well, and I thought he was going to come down with it, but just couldn't haul it in. So 3rd and 5.
Down and 5 for the Patriots.
Third and 5. Patriots need to keep this drive alive to have any sort of chance. It's going to be a run up the middle. Oh!
Ball is out.
Yeah.
Nodlin lost it. I think Century recovered.
Yep, they did.
They did get a couple out of that, so I think it's going to be about 4th and 3.
4th and 3 for Bismarck Century.
And so, Century, they've got to convert, but that clock continues to run. And so really trying to be sure they have the right play, but they've got to move with some expediency here. They can't stand around. It's like Century maybe with a heavy lineup here. Got the fullback in. Maybe going to get this one to Lil.
4th and 3 up the middle here. Yes, they do. And Lil's going to be stopped short.
I think that is just short. Really close. I think Cheyenne did enough. Century players pointing one direction. Let's see what the refs come up with. They're going to measure.
6:52 to go here in the 4th quarter. You got fans yelling blue ball. Sullivan Irie pointing, yep, it is. He's pretty confident.
Yep, by about 3-4 inches is all. Cheyenne able to stop Century, under 7 to play. At the Century 38, that might have been enough.
I think if you just kind of run the clock down a little bit on this drive, it's sealed.
Yeah, you're up to 3 scores. Wilson coming back on at running back. I think if you can just get a first down or 2 here, you don't have to score, you don't have to punch it in, but just eat that clock.
High snap. Olsen keeps it.
Now it's all about ball protection. You have guys punching and grabbing and ripping at that ball. Every guy who touches that ball needs to have 2 hands on it at all times. Last thing you need here is a turnover. So max ball protect and just eat clock. 6.5 to go now.
Play action pass. Olsen fires. That pass is caught over the middle. And he's going to, he stripped it.
Yeah.
Oh, unless they're stealing for it, and the Century Patriots are going to get it here. Wow, that was quite a sequence there.
And the horse collar tackle on top.
Oh, my goodness.
A lot to unwrap on that one. We just talked about max ball protect. These guys are going to be looking to strip it. Haas makes a good catch after a good throw by Caden Olsen. But Century strips it. Ball bounces around for a while. They come up with it. Guy tries to bring it upfield. Then a horse collar tackle, a personal foul on top of that.
Tommy Oneman.
Yeah. So this is going to give Century new life again with 6 even to play.
Horse collar tackle, number 70, Sheyenne. 15 yards, first down.
So out to the 30 for Century.
Horse collar means they took their hand and pulled him down by the inside of his shoulder pads.
Century takes over 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line.
6 minutes to go in this quarterfinal matchup between the Patriots and the Mustangs.
Nodland just behind his intended receiver. They rolled him out there. Haroldstad unable. That one probably wasn't catchable for him. That ball was low and behind him.
13-mile-per-hour winds and 24 degrees Fahrenheit. Boy, that's...
It's one you tell your kids about one day. I remember the time I played in a game, and it was 24 degrees. It's one of those that it happens so infrequently. It's often cold around here, but this is really cold. And
for October.
Yeah.
Nyland drops back. It's just caught by Lil.
He smartly steps out of bounds, stops the clock at 5:48. Cheyenne still up, the 3 scores.
Hey, Mustang fans, it's 3rd down and 7 for the Patriots.
Third and 7 from the 33 coming up. Nodland drops back, gets rid of it just in time. Oh!
Gets out of the grasp of Mansky. Now he's going to turn it.
Look at that.
Got around the corner, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. I'm not sure if Mansky was afraid of, if he didn't wrap him up, if he thought the hit was enough, if he thought the quarterback was getting rid of it. Regardless, it's going to be 4th and 7.
Final score from the Magic City. Minot 23, Mandan 14, which means
and Minot seals the deal against the Mandan Braves. They win 23-14.
They collect a safety on the at the end of the game, so they move on. Looks like it's going to be Shanley and Davies. We know that matchup is set, and this is the only one that's still in doubt. But if Cheyenne holds on, they will host Minot. Someone shared a picture up here in the press box of the stands out in Dickinson, full of snow, and that's tied 6-6, but ton of snow out in the western part of the state, so still 6-6 as Dickinson and Horace are battling each other. So Century burns another timeout there because of the importance of this 4th and 7. Again, if you're Cheyenne, a D-back or a safety, no one gets behind you under any circumstances.
Nodland rolls out to his right. Pass is caught at the right around the 40.
But that's going to be shy. It was a really good pass. Good catch there by Schomer, but it's going to be about a half-yard short.
Number 6, Jameson Allen on the stop.
Oh, no.
Oh, I gotta zip my jacket back
I don't know if it was the side judge from the far side of the field trying to say it was up near the line to gain. But on the near side, they say no, it's going to be just short. And Cheyenne takes over with 5:13 to go.
Yeah, the Mustangs just looking more and more favorable for them. We're reaching the end of the game, 5:13 to go in this one. And boy, this win has got to feel good after knowing, that agony and the sour taste in the mouth that remained for a year after that 27-8 loss, and a loss that no one saw coming. Stunned the Mustang community. But the Mustangs just run this one out, and they're going to get their first ever playoff win against the Bismarck Century Patriots.
Gain of about 3 will make it second down and 7.
I think you got to give Caden Olson credit for this evening. You know, he threw the ball very well.
He threw the ball really
well. Despite it
well.
being 23 degrees now.
Yeah, that an excellent job.
9 degrees below freezing.
Olsen
yeah, Olsen's going to
keep
keep the slides.
Take the slide. Again, now under 4.5.
Slides down after a 3-yard
Smart
gain.
play, not subject himself to any more hits. 3rd and 3. It's 4-down territory, but really for Sheyenne, not mattering if they get a first down here. You're just trying to eat up as much of the clock as you can. 15 to go on the play clock here.
Run to the right side of the middle here.
Olsen again. There he moved the chains, and that'll do it.
That's another Mustangs. First down.
It's going to pretty much seal the deal here for the Sheyenne Mustangs. They get another first down. 3:40 to go, and the clock just continues to run. Wilson this time on the carry.
Wisely just goes down. Keep the clock moving. So Jackson, as we look at tonight, really great effort by Sheyenne, I think, on both sides of the ball, and even when it was special teams. We saw that men's punt where the ball was snapped over his head, and he still managed to get the punt away. They managed to get a fumble recovery off of a short kick. They won that battle. Offensively, they've moved it well. I think Coach Newton did a good job of mixing and matching runs and passes. Race Wilson, as he continues to do, has been the workhorse tonight, gotten a lot of yards. And then they sprinkled in some good choices on passes. Caden Olson was effective. They kept him pretty clean. He wasn't hit a lot in terms of the passing game, so he was able to find receivers, and that's how you rack up the 41 points. I think for Century, maybe it's a game of what if. You know, every time they got down to the red zone, they stalled. It seemed like they weren't able to finish off drives. They moved the ball well between the 20s, but as they got into the red zone, Cheyenne's defense tightened up, or Century was just unable to convert on some of those, and if they did, this might be a very different-looking game. So give credit to Cheyenne's D for coming up big in those situations.
Run up the middle here. He's tackled just right behind the line of scrimmage. Hard tackle, but yeah, that was Wilson on the carry. But I think that kickoff recovery definitely set the tone for the game.
Well,
I mean, when you got that score and then you get that recovery.
You get the stop after Century drives down the field. They stall in the red zone. You go back, you answer with a score. You get that fumble recovery, you answer with the score, and just it got out of hand quickly for Century, kind of the same way it did when Century did that to Sheyenne last year. It got out of hand quickly.
Yeah, the Mustangs fell behind 20-0. Wilson breaks free and he gets pushed out of bounds.
The one thing he didn't want to do is step out of bounds. But
that's another Mustangs. First down. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Horace has scored on the first possession.
And Horace looks like they got the first score.
Overtime.
In overtime they got the first score.
So great, congratulations to Coach Newton, his coaching staff, and this Mustang team exercising some playoff demons. We highlighted at the outset the success that they had against Century in the regular season, but their inability to defeat Century here in the playoffs. And tonight they're able to come through with a big 41-21 win.
The Mustangs, that's going to be the final knee of the game, and the Mustangs seal the deal against the Patriots. They make history, their first ever postseason victory against the Patriots here tonight, 41-21, and they've tied the all-time series at 5 apiece. And the Mustang, it was all Sheyenne in that first half, and they just did not let off the gas pedal, and they get that sweet revenge. The Patriots, you got the fireworks going off in the north end zone, just behind the goal post. What a win for the Mustangs. And they're back in the semifinals for the 5th time in the last 6 years.
You know, and anytime you're able to defeat a Ron Wingenbach team, that you should count that as a feather in your hat, whether regular season, but especially in the playoffs. They did a fantastic job last year coming in and defeating the Mustangs. But this year, Sheyenne able to turn the tables on them and really just kind of dominated from the beginning, and that was the story throughout the game.
I think the Mustangs have just wanted more, and for good reason. You know, it's just they got that sour taste out of their mouths now finally after a year, and it's just good to know that they're moving on to the semifinals to play the Magicians here at Essentia Mustang Stadium next week. Hopefully the conditions are better. You got to give the players and also shout out to our camera crew and the cheerleaders.
The chain gang, the cheerleaders, our camera crew, anybody who had to be out there tonight, these fans sitting in these cold bleachers, stuck with it throughout the game. This was as cold as we've seen, Jackson, and hopefully, as you said, next week is a little better at least. But time will tell. You know, and remember, we had concerns when Sheyenne played Minot the first time. Minot has big backs, and we were concerned about what challenges Minot posed. Sheyenne was able to answer after being down 17-14 and win 28-20. But that's going to be a tough game next week as well. The path to the Fargo Dome and the Dakota Bowl doesn't get any easier for Sheyenne next week.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an exciting match, knowing that the Mustangs have a chance to go to their 4th Dakota Bowl in 5 years. They have an opportunity to punch that ticket and make that a reality next week against the Magicians, and that's a team that's going to be hungry for revenge after that bitter loss here in the regular season here.
That's right.
You know, in a game where they were up 17-14, and the Mustangs answered with 2 touchdowns late in the game, one by Penu, and then Caleb Deere with the great catch in the corner of the end zone, in the north end zone, the left corner. It's going to be exciting knowing that the Mustangs, you know, they're looking good right now. The RPO just remains, you know, pretty dominant in terms of
it really is coming along, and we talked about it during the game. Caden Olson has really grown with this. We knew he could pass from the very beginning, but he's looking more and more comfortable as a runner. Race Wilson has done a fantastic job in the backfield. Caleb Haas, Cooper Bryant came up with big catches tonight. So that offense continues to click, and they're breaking up. You know, I think the big thing is if you're an opposing coach, you automatically think, well, we got to take away Caleb Deere. Well, now Haas, now Cooper Bryant, now these other guys are stepping up, Colby Walters, and you get those people making plays, and now that puts a defense kind of on its heels going, who do we worry about? So fantastic job for Sheyenne tonight. Good effort by Bismarck Century Patriots, just unable to come through on the Sheyenne turf tonight.
Yeah, that's going to do it for tonight's quarterfinal broadcast between the Patriots and the Mustangs. Make sure you check out our social media pages. The links to those are in the description below, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get and click the bell so you can get notifications on when we go live. Mustangs up, Patriots down. The Mustangs are moving on to the semifinal for the 5th time in the last 6 years. They'll take on the Magicians here at Essentia Mustang Stadium next Friday. We'll be broadcasting that. I'm Jackson Miller.
I'm Dan Wolf.
Have a safe trip home, everyone, and we'll see you next time here on Mustang Media.
As a child, you would wait and watch from far away, but you always knew that you'd be the one that would quiet they all play.